Do I press anything? Okay. We first met in 6th grade through soccer, back when we were in the Cyclone days. And one of my favorite memories would be, I guess, both of our engagement parties. I remember that I cried whenever you got engaged, and I don't usually cry. We're not very emotional people, but I definitely did cry, and I'll cry today.
Okay, I first met Natalie in 2014 when we went to UMHB for soccer, and go crew, go crew. And one of my first memories with her is we went to, I don't remember the two-stepping nights out in the parking lot. What were they called? Own the Night. Yeah, Own the Night. Okay, Own the Night. And there was this like guy I really wanted to dance with, and I had like really never hung out with Natalie. She went up to him and like got him and made him dance with me. I was like, okay, this is the kind of friend she's gonna be. Okay. Yeah, that was like the first time we like actually hung out. So it was good.
Do I have to press anything?
No.
So I also first met Natalie in 2014 when we started playing soccer together. Me and Haley were roommates, and so Natalie was kind of out of the little soccer circle because she got put with Emily.
Oh, random.
And then and so she would hang out in me and Haley's room all the time after we became friends, and that's how we started becoming friends. And a vivid memory I have of Natalie was when we went to ACL together. Sunday, we were at the concert, and it had been like all day and like hot in the sun, and our phones were on like 2%. It's like late at night, like the concert, it's like wrapping up, and Natalie looks at me. It's like a rave, like the rave is going on. She looks at me, she's like, I want to go in the crowd. I was like, that's a terrible idea. I don't want to do that. She's like, no, I want to go in the crowd. She was like, I'm going to go. I was like, by yourself? And she was like, yes. She has 2% on her phone. She sprints into the crowd. I don't know what's going on in there, but she comes out later. We find each other with one of these like random flags. I'm like, meet at the Denmark flag. Neither one of us know what Denmark flags look like. But somehow we both ended up at this blue looking flag. Yeah. And she comes out with all of these glow sticks. And I'm like, what happened to you in there? And she's like, I met the coolest people. And I'm like, what? And I look at her, and both of us have 1% on our phones. And I'm like, Natalie, if you had gotten lost in that crowd, game over.
Always making friends.
Uber with 1%.
Yes, literally. And that is one of my favorite memories of Natalie being crazy.
Crazy. I first met Natalie as well in 2014 whenever we were freshmen playing soccer at UMHB together. I honestly can't pick a favorite memory because it was just the entire first semester of sophomore year. I have never been a good person when it comes to roommates, so you can obviously understand whenever I was a little hesitant when me and Natalie had to share not only a apartment but a room. And that whole semester.
And a roommate that you had.
And a roommate that we did not know. So it was just a lot for me. And obviously, like second semester, like of college, you're going through a lot, you're growing. And I remember I would stay up until like 4 a.m. just like losing my mind about everything under the sun. And even though she actually made it to class at 8 a.m. and I would sleep in until noon and miss all my 10 a.m.s, she would stay up and we would just talk through everything. And I just remember that whole semester was the time where like our friendship really grew, and she was always there for me. She always pushed me. We always encouraged each other to go and try a bunch of new things. And yeah, that whole semester, I just never thought that I would be comfortable living in such a close quarters with somebody, and she really became my sister that year. So
I'm Audrey DiMatteo. Me and Natalie met, I think it was our sophomore year of college, because I like transferred in like a semester in, but we met at Mayborn Campus Center, go crew. I think our friendship was pretty much like immediate. We just like clicked. Everything was the same about us. And one of our favorite memories is we're very like outdoorsy, and like we go hiking and like do all these things with our pups. And we both have like these big trucks, so we wanted to go kayaking down a river one day. So we took both the trucks. We parked mine at like the end of the river, and we took the kayaks with her truck and went to the front of the river. She knows. Backstory is Natalie drives 24/7. I don't drive. She doesn't let anyone drive. She's always the person. So like if we're ever going somewhere, I just immediately like throw my keys like into her dashboard, and like it's just a given. So I naturally did that because like we were going somewhere together, even though it's like the front of the river. So that happened, and we like kayaked down this river that was like miles long. Like we literally got to like the end of the river. That's why we brought both the trucks. And then we get to the end of the river, and we're just like sitting there. We unload the kayak. And she's like, all right, like, where's your keys? And we're like looking at the truck. I was like, they're in your truck. So we're just like, oh God. So we're like, do we kayak back like up the river? And then we actually called her fiance Grant, and he came and saved us. And so it's one of my best memories because I suck, but a typical Nat and Odd day. What are you doing right now? He's like,
It literally, yeah, it's still, if anytime anything goes wrong and like you're having a bad day or you're on an adventure and something messes up, you look back on it, it was still the best day.
it's fine, it meshes.
Somehow it's also part of why it was the best.
Part of why it was the best day.
The reason it messed up.
Hi, I'm Claire Henry. I met Natalie, what was it, 2016? Yes. 2016. We ended up going to India together for the first time. And then from then on, like we've traveled a lot together. My favorite memory, which no one else in this room but Natalie will understand because the other girl isn't here, but when we were in Nepal, there was this guy that tried to swindle us a little bit. And it was very sketchy. We were in the middle of this like temple area. And so Nat looks at me and we're like walking down this tunnel into this like Buddha temple. And she looked at me, she's like, I'm not gonna let us get kidnapped. And I was like, okay, sounds great. We're not gonna get kidnapped. And I trusted her from then on out. I was like, this girl can beat somebody up if I need her to. And I trust her with my freaking life. So we've gone on lots of trips since then and I just love her dearly. Still trust you to this day to beat somebody up if I need you to.
Okay, I'm Kim. I'm Natalie's mom. We call her Sunshine. She has always been who made John and I smile the most and laugh the most. And she has that tomboy spirit that her dad loves about her because he would always call her and still calls her his third son. That's his favorite thing to call her. And she likes, hiking and all the outdoor stuff that we all like. And she is the toughest girl I know, but also has the sweetest heart for her friends. And I'm really excited for today because I think that she has been looking for somebody like Grant for so long. And I know that she's going to flourish as a wife. And since we've known Grant since he was in 6th grade, he went to the church that we went to in their youth department, which, I don't know if people have told you the story. You have to ask Grant about it. Natalie didn't know he existed, but he knew she existed. He actually remembers what she wore into the youth room the very first time he saw her. So I know. And so
like everything stopped.
Yes, it did. And so she called me one day and said, Mom, she was at a medical event, and she said, Grant Reed's here. Do you know who he is? I was like, yeah, I know who he is. You should know who he is. And she's like, he's handsome. And I was like, yeah, I know. I've been telling you this for a while. She's like, I didn't even know he existed. And so I said, go talk to him. And she said, no, I'm not going to go talk to him. I said, you've known him since 6th grade. She's like, no, I haven't, actually. So long story short, they did internships at the hospital that entire summer together, and he made up excuses to go from the PACU into where she was. Yes, and so they got to see each other enough that he got the courage up to ask her for coffee, which was so sweet. Him and John bonded right away about fishing, and it's something that brought them together right away, and it kind of, made it a great connection because he's in school in Galveston, so it just happens to be beautiful down there to go fishing. So I get to see Natalie as much as I want because John likes to go fishing with Grant, so that's been really good for them. I think probably one of my favorite memories of Grant is helping Natalie with the construction crew in South Dakota, and me telling him, can you just please go with Natalie's group because she is stressing out. She doesn't have anybody on there to help her, and I think that I've heard that you can do a lot of like construction and stuff like that. And he was like, okay. Of course I will. And I didn't know at the time that he liked her. So, but yeah, so he was super excited. He was like, yeah, I will. I will.
Okay, howdy, my name is Luke Reed. I am Grant's younger brother, little baby brother, as he used to introduce me to his friends, probably how Coulter got introduced to me. And then a fun memory was when I was in about 6th grade and Grant was probably in 12th grade. I thought I was big and bad. I thought I was a middle school boy, so I could take on my high school brother. So Grant, being a good brother, he noticed that weakness and he exploited it to a T. And so oftentimes Grant would kind of poke me and provoke me to do something. So I would strike back, and then I would be the one that got in trouble for it, and Grant would just be in the corner making faces at me, which would make me even worse, or even madder. But it's brotherly love.
I'm Brandon Coulter, and I'm excited to get Grant Reed married. My favorite memory with Grant is probably going to Whataburger every day in high school. We spent about 2 hours a day at Whataburger. That was pretty fun. And then I also crashed my car one time with Grant Reed in the car in a curve on the way back from Whataburger, and that was a lot of fun. So,
I'm Dale Davis. I'm Grant's cousin. First off, I'm honored to be a part of this, and I am most excited for in this wedding that Grant found a girl. Period. That's what I'm excited about. I didn't know if it would ever happen, and I'm just excited that he did. But some of my greatest memories of growing up with Grant are just the different times that we got to spend out at Granny and Granddad's house, and the different things that we got to do growing up together. And even though there's an age difference between us, we were always side by side when we were together, and it was fun. And what he means to my kids. My kids look up to him, look up to his brothers, and it's just special for me to be a part of this, and I'm honored to be here.
Say hi, I'm Preston Reed.
Hi, I'm Preston Reed.
And now say,
I'm glad I'm Grant's older brother.
Say, I'm excited to get Grant married.
Grant, I'm excited to get Grant married.
Good job.
Yeah, nice. All right, hey, I'm Aaron Williams. I know Grant from medical school, and I guess all my favorite memories of Grant are us on my family's boat fishing. We got the privilege of going offshore fishing a couple times this summer. We got to take John, his future father-in-law, out fishing. It was a really good time. So, yeah, I'm just excited that he is going to be marrying Natalie. She's an amazing girl, so I'm really happy for them.
Natalie, what would you tell your brothers and your dad right now?
Ooh, I'm so ready to see y'all. They are like they're my rock when it comes to times where I'm nervous or unsure. I know I can just go to them for anything, especially my dad. Because moms are emotional and they're there for all those like really intimate moments, but your dad is somebody that you just, I know that he'll put me back on solid ground, if that's like the best way to say it, but like grounds me in everything. So, but they're my brothers. They're like, we might as well all be twins. Like we're so close. They mean the world to me for sure. About my wedding dress?
What do you like the most?
Definitely. Okay. Do you know where the groom's room is? When it's all like fluffed out and everything. Go hang out there and then They took a picture from the back, and that's what sold me on buying it. I was like, what's this dress? Okay. Yep. I would definitely want that look down the aisle. Yeah. So probably a little too much, but it's okay. It'll. You look so good. I love this. Oh my gosh. So excited. Tell everybody. I know.
Are you ready to do first look with bridesmaids?
Oh. Yes.
Yeah? Sam, you ready? You're going to go to your left. Okay. Yeah. And then you're going to be right next to the cocktail. Okay. Okay. Good. Eyes closed. Yeah, eyes closed. Keep eyes closed. Eyes are closed. Yeah, like so excited. You're shaking. I'm so excited. Maybe, and then Ashley, my heart is warm. Is this warm? You all look so cute. I feel like I'm gonna.
Oh my god! I never want to open my eyes.
I know. Okay.
Natalie, if you could talk to Grant right now, what would you say?
Ooh. Gosh, I don't even know what I'm gonna say whenever I see him. We always just say like, this sounds so silly, but like anytime we like haven't seen each other after a while, we're just like, hi. Like, how are you? Like, are you feeling okay? I know I'm like extremely nervous, but I think I'll feel a lot better whenever we're finally like next to each other. And all the suspense is down a little bit. But I would tell him that I love him and that I'm so excited to see him and have this day together. And that my hands will probably be sweaty.
A little nervous, excited. She's a year older. She was in 7th grade. I was in like 6th grade. It was Sunday school. And I guess she walked in. It was like a super pretty older girl. And I'm pretty sure I stood right behind her while we were singing. I didn't know how things would turn out, but I think they turned out pretty nicely. She's everything I want. She's beautiful. Our personalities kind of complement each other. I'm a little quieter and reserved, and she's more kind of blunt and direct, and so it fits really well. And then we get along really well, enjoy the same things.
What's your favorite thing about her?
Favorite thing? Just spending time with her. We don't have to be doing anything, just sit on the couch, drinking coffee, watching the sunrise, sunset, just spending time.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Whenever I want.
Hi. Are we allowed to kiss? Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can. Oh my gosh.
Man.
What do you think?
Oh, it's amazing.
I love the blue. Were you nervous?
I was incredibly nervous. There's so many little details.
I know.
And a veil.
A long veil. See? He said they were right about the long tail.
They were. They let it slip yesterday.
It's called a train, babe.
Oh, a train.
Oh my gosh. Eek. Feel ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalie, you're the love of my life, and I can't wait to spend the rest of it with you. I love you more than you will ever know, and I'm so excited to grow together as husband and wife. I promise to honor you and love you through the good days and through the bad days, even when it's not easy. I promise to be your handyman and protector.
Always.
When things need fixing or bugs need stomping. I promise to be your adventure partner, even if the adventure doesn't include fishing. And I promise to wrestle our dog a lot.
Yes, she needs it.
I promise to support and encourage you no matter what obstacles may come our way. And ever since I saw you in the 6th grade, I knew something was special. And now there's a whole new meaning to special.
Aww. Grant Patrick, you are my best friend, my rock, my person. It's hard to put into words all that you mean to me. You have become my entire world. On this day, I give you my promise. I vow to not grow science experiments in the sink. I vow to eventually learn how to back the trailer down at the boat ramp. I vow to take couch naps with you and scratch your back until you fall asleep.
It doesn't take long.
I vow to become a better cook, but let's not put a timeline on that one. I vow to follow you anywhere. I vow to grow together, challenge each other, build a family together, and serve the Lord together until we are called home. I vow to love you no matter what life throws at us. I vow to love you when you're going through your hardest days and when neither of us feel like loving anyone but ourselves. I vow to love you the way God loves us, unconditionally and without failure. From our first date, you proved to take care of my needs by packing all of my favorite snacks and drinks. Since then, we've faced job changes, bad seafood,
Really bad secret.
COVID, medical school, and all of Maybelline's mischief. Through everything, I stand here being the most sure of anything in my life ever before. I know I have found the one whom my soul loves. On this day, I give you my promise. You have my heart and all of my love.
Natalie and Grant, the ceremony of marriage in which you have come to be united is the first and oldest ceremony in all the world. Your marriage must stand not on the authority of the state, nor the seal of your wedding certificate, but rather it must stand by the strength of your love. It must stand by your devotion to one another in good and in bad times. Finally, it must stand because of God's participation in your relationship. He must be first. Grant, you may kiss your bride.
In my dress, you like it?
I like it a lot.
I'm glad.
Okay.
Mwah.
I could probably toss it.
No, put yours low.
There's no returns on this. The return policy is not there. All right, let's go eat and party.
These are important, babe.
They are. What are you looking at?
The sun.
I'm looking at the electric tower in front of the sunset.
Oh, I see.
First shot.
Yeah. Kinda. You did good.
Did I?
You want to look on the inside of your ring?
That's why it has the date.
You looked already?
Yeah.
How? You peeked?
Of course I peeked.
It looks so good on you. Yes. You're funny.
Shall I pick up your dress?
Probably.
Shall you hold my bouquet?
Okay, I'm excited.